Welcome to my channel. Today I will try to show you my new coloring book, but it will be a little bit difficult because it's unusual book. It's a book by Eriy, the same author who created series of Romantic Country, but Romantic Country I have in English edition and this one is original. Korean, I believe, or maybe Japanese. Sorry, guys. So it came from Book Depository. Let me take away this slightly damaged cover. And this book is called Travel in Time. I think that Eriy, after Romantic Country, published a couple of books. One of them is Travel Around the World, and the second is Travel in Time. It's similar to Romantic Country in size. It also has this beautiful dust cover, but when I opened it, I was slightly shocked because it's printed in extremely light lines. I hope that I will be able to film at least some of the pictures because my camera totally refused to catch such a light line art. You know that even Romantic Country was created using Indian ink, so line art is lighter comparing to regular black line art which we have in regular coloring books. So it was quite nice to cover it with pencils, but this line art is much lighter. In the beginning of the book we have explanations by Eriy, which moments in time, starting from the very beginning of history, from many historical periods, from many countries, from parts all over the world, significant moments in history which she put into this book. We have year and we have short explanation, but unfortunately we will need to use translator. And this depicted printed in a light gray, but pictures they are probably it's light brown, or I would say light artichoke, artichoke pencil from Prismacolor set, and that's the color which we have here. Paper also feels different from the paper in Romantic Country. You know that I always complain about quality of that paper. That paper was a reason why I wasn't able to color in that book. It's probably too soft and not very good for watercolors also. As this one, it looks a little bit more sturdy. Definitely not so soft, and it seems that this one is more white. Paper in Romantic Country is something between off-white and cream. This one looks more white, but line art it's almost invisible. It's good for coloring, both with colored pencils and with watercolors, but it's extremely difficult to film, at least for my camera. I hope that I will manage to film anything at all. If not, then I will probably try to take pictures of the most interesting pages which I found in this book, and in such way I will try to show you the style of this book. So we start from the very beginning of our history, from fossils, from dinosaur, and then we will start to move to the modern time. Here we have famous wooden horse from Troy, starting of making fabric. Here we have famous Babylon gates, interesting historical collection of shoe. Oh my god, I think that anything will be visible on the screen. Book is double-sided, but I hope that because of the quite thick paper it will be possible to use watercolors. It would be a pity that with such a line art when you can use watercolors in and create page very similar to normal painting, that paper would react badly with watercolors. Of course, I will test it and then we will discuss it. Look at this beauty. Here we have Nefertiti probably. I have no idea how to show it. The binding is good, so it's sewn together and you can lay it flat and you can open it without being afraid that anything will fall apart. So quality of the book is really very good. I hope that you were able to see Cleopatra. Next we have this interesting dollhouse with miniature doll and miniature furniture. Another interesting page. Bishop, king, queen, the rook, the knight, and of course castle. Here we have the theater of shadows and another very nice castle. Here we move to Chinese probably history, maybe it's beginning of Chinese books. I definitely need to translate everything which we have, all explanations which we have in the beginning of the book. Here I believe that we are in Hungary. Next probably something from Greek history, and here started medieval and then Renaissance time. Beautiful armor and Renaissance buildings. Yeah, this one probably also dedicated to book printing. Beautiful library. Next we have village. I really love this one. It looks like Korean probably or Japanese. I am terribly sorry that I hadn't translated it because I was so intrigued by the quality of this book that everything is so light. It will be really very interesting to color, and I hope that the final look of the page will look less like coloring book but more like maybe a real illustration. But then I realized that to film it will be a total nightmare. Some of the pictures are more simplified and some are more complicated. Well, I think that this one looks like famous dress by Queen Anne. Interesting. Also a lot of cats. I love how Eriy depicts cats, so they are quite cute. I will be happy to color another page with her cats. Here we have our solar system. Next we have tulips. Probably it's dedicated to the tulips fever in Holland. Oh, look at this beautiful dress. Again, sorry guys for the quality. I will try to add some pictures. Maybe it will be better and it will give you at least some opinion about this book. It's quite heavy. Oh, I think that here we have little Mozart and maybe adult Mozart, because they are like two parts of the spread. Very cute. I definitely want to do this one. Oh, here we have study of the liter, gram, meter, so metric system study. Oh, here started another very good spread. It's start of explanation of other territories. So here we have samples of various plants. Here we have monkey. Oh, again we have this famous geese, who was the main character from a romantic series. Another very good page. Penguins. Next we have this travel labels. I always love them and always wanted to color one of pages with travel labels. Here we have page dedicated to Florence Nightingale. Another good story. This one reminds me about a romantic country and I definitely want to color it. Very cute. Donkey, cart, all of them are very attractive. Interesting vintage card examples and a lady in beautiful Victorian style dress. Beautiful picnic picture, and I am glad that here we also have a couple of Christmas pictures. I am also always happy when I have new Christmas pictures. And here we have beautiful nutcracker. Here we have probably Olympic Games, yeah. Amundsen South Pole Expedition, another page which I definitely want to do. That's where pictures. In the end we have some suggestions from Eriy how to color. You can do line art with colored pencils or with felt tip pens, so it's interesting idea. And many styles how you can color her pictures. Next couple of colorful examples and the same pictures, the same collages, again as line art. Couple of postcards. Now again guys, I will try to include couple of pictures because I can edit them and to increase contrast. But it's an interesting book. I'm also now quite curious to flip through of the travel around the world, and I'm sure that very soon I will start to color something from this book. Maybe this Mozart, or maybe one of the beautiful ladies because dresses are quite nice, or maybe that cart with donkey. It was beautiful present for my birthday, so thanks Delphine, and I hope that if you have this book you can share with me which are your favorite pencils or maybe other medium to use in this book, because it's probably my first book with such unusual line art. Well, let's try to test watercolor. Here on the first page we have line art printed in light gray, and honestly as a blogger I would prefer to have the whole book printed in such lines, but for coloring of course the lighter line art is better. It's just not very good for filming. Well, paper absorbs pigment quickly, so you have to work with relatively big speed with watercolors. So I have to be quicker if I want nice color gradients and nice flow of one paint into another. Here on the body I added quite a big amount of water, so we can test how about bleeding through. I would say that paper absorbs pigment also, so very quickly your watercolor it becomes considerably lighter. Well, I wouldn't say that it would be easy to color the whole page with watercolors only, because I can clearly see some stains between colors where I try to create gradient. But as a first layer to cover the background and then to work with pencils, it will be totally possible to use it. Yeah, definitely there are some stains. And what about bleeding? Or at least there is no bleeding, even if I used a lot of water. So you can use a watercolor, but you need to work quickly. And you have to check constantly until it will dry completely for some stains between colors, like I have here where water and pigment gathered. So with some practice it will be possible to use it for the background. Let me show you closer. Here you can see some stains where pigment gathered. Here we can probably see some dots from the pigment. So I wouldn't say that I will be able to do the whole page with watercolors only. I can clearly see some dots which I prefer to cover with pencils, but as a first layer I definitely will try to use it.